1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of the Red Rising Podcast. This is Craig, Sam, Nick, and Liz, and in this episode, we covered chapters 19 through 24 of Golden Sun, where we continue the daring escape as our crew takes shape, loyalties shift, and Darrow tries to reconcile with old friends. Unsuccessfully. Nick feels thoroughly vindicated in his assessment of Tactus and Darrow's friendship, and we dig into a section that is equal parts chaotic, compelling, and full of the early sparks of rebellion. The following conversation contains major spoilers for Pierce Brown's Red Rising trilogy. Pierce Brown, come on to the podcast. The series includes depictions of graphic violence, torture, slavery, sexual violence, and genocide, so listener discretion is advised. Enjoy.
It is also Sam Witwer is part of the reason why
Sam
Maul,
Witwer
he
is
is
the
like
reason Maul is hot.
yes. He's also
a
like
little bit on the animators because his chest is always out.
yeah, right, and he's missing half his body.
But
I'm this close to getting Alex to watch Maul because I have talked up Sam Witwer as like one of the best voice actors of he's just incredible.
Beyond a voice actor at this point, he is a creator. Like he has created that character. Sam, guys, I mean, listen, I can't vouch for the whole series. I only saw the first 2 episodes. Dun, dun, dun. That's Maul's song. So check it out. It's like a noir gangster.
Ooh.
Like that's what it is. He's like, so Darth Maul's like a leader of a gangster, like syndicate leader. So this is a little bit about that. He's out for revenge. Maul always is out for revenge. That's all he ever does.
Wait,
revenge.
why does the animation look so much better than traditional?
Because it is.
That's purposeful. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks
They've
so
definitely
much like that's
done
why
a lot more
so much
creative. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just so intelligent and driven and like evil, but also he's chaotic evil. So like he'll partner with anybody. Like that, he's fun. He's a very fun villain. He's over
I feel
the
like
top.
he's
camp.
also a villain. Craig, if you haven't seen any of the cartoons, you would love Maul. If you're someone who is you're a fan of Adrius, you're a fan of Lysander, you would love him.
Yeah. Yep. Atlas.
Talk about someone who's evil but has like he has some good points. Like
we love depth.
Yeah.
I love a character with depth.
Sam, have you finished Andor? I've been meaning to ask.
Oh,
I knew you were going to ask that. I have not.
The next time you come over, we are 100%. I'm going to hold you hostage.
Okay. All right, let's
season
get into
2 is even better than
let's
season
get
1.
into
Okay,
it. Yeah,
let's get into it.
Liz, do you have a recap for us?
Yeah. Okay. So the next few chapters, 19 to 24, to kind of close out section 2, it's the aftermath and reset of the Gala massacre, right? Darrow does turn disaster into momentum. On the escape shuttle, Jackal has decided to take over Quinn's emergency care, so he puts on his best medical drama act. Augustus decides that he is going to go to war with the Sovereign, and Tactus kind of blows up their leverage there. However, we do see a really cool scene as Octavia's fleet is kind of closing in, we see Darrow finally, get his dream of wanting to get shut out from the shuttle into the Vanguard, and they take that over. They rename it the Pax, RIP Pax. And they rally, Darrow in his charismatic way rallies the low colors to kind of go against their gold commanders so that he can truly take ownership of that ship, right? We get to meet 2 of his closest allies as we go through the book, which is Ragnar, who pledges himself to Darrow, who is he's an obsidian, but he's like the highest. I can't even remember the words right now. And we also meet Orion, the baddest. Thank you, Stained.
Oh.
The baddest in this universe. Just the best blue and best human. And so, on top of that, we do also kind of see Darrow deal with, grief, which he's helping manage, like Sever's grief. He kind of does ignore Roke's, but they get through surviving the massacre. And we kind of end the last 2 chapters with, battle to trust, with Darrow comforts Severo, and then we find out that Severo has actually been in contact with the Sons of Ares. And so they kind of reconcile that, and the chapter closes with them going to Ganymede.
Wow, what a summary.
What a summary.
Oh my gosh,
Hey, Liz coming in hot.
I love how you set up the beginning of this part as a medical drama, like The Pit. Like it's The Pit, but with the jackal.
Yeah. That's what I thought of it, because it's like, yeah, the jackal really put the work there.
100%. So where we left off, Sam was describing that she is attracted to the jackal.
Yes.
So last week.
Sam,
Last week.
For that
Has your opinion changed in a week?
I would like to be clear that under no other circumstances am I ever attracted to the jackal. This is not an ongoing thing. But I think in this stretch of 3 to 4 pages, the second that man rolls his sleeves up, I'm like, hello?
Oh, it's a sleeve roll. It's the sleeve roll.
The
Who are you?
The sleeve roll does do something.
Unruffled man who's about to take care of Quinn. Okay.
That's so true. From the moment like he swoops down unasked to save Quinn, right?
Yeah.
So starting from there, first read through.
Yes.
Hey, the jackal's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Because you are wondering, like, maybe this is
a turning point.
Act.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
Second
we just
read
saw
through.
him kill Leto.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
what is going on with the
The
I don't know,
second
guys.
read through.
He's a complex man.
Looking at her pupils, he's like telling everybody where to go. You know, the hero's always the one telling everybody what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe he also is like, oh, you're a doctor.
I like the hair behind the ear.
So funny.
So
anyway,
okay, I was into it.
I agree with you, and it's so sincere.
Well, it seems sincere. I
Yeah.
don't know
He's
that
a-
the
No,
jackals
that's a
can be
spoiler.
sincere.
I mean, I think it's a spoiler we need to talk about because
Yeah.
this is an important scene, and he's a psychopath.
I don't think
And
you
of
need to
course, a
spoil it.
psychopath
We
is
know
going
he's
to.
a psychopath. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we know he can't feel these social emotions. He's calm because he doesn't give a shit about Quinn, and he can keep calm in this
To
situation.
the contrary,
because he has,
it's not. He doesn't give a shit about Quinn. He knows he can use Quinn. Right?
Yeah.
You know, which is it's such a good capture. I mean, I'm hopefully not a psychopath. I don't know what a psychopath is like. I've never met one, I don't think, but I feel like in terms of like representations of that, this is such a good one because he sees the opportunity and nothing else, and you don't even know it until a reread. Like you
And you're
don't even
primed
know it the
for
first
it.
time around.
Yeah. On second read, there's the scene we kind of glazed over a little because it's more boring. In between him going, Darrow going into the throne room and the brawl, when they're flying over, and we talked about how like the families are all getting killed. Darrow's sitting next to Adrius, and he's noting how like Adrius is watching it, and it's the most chilling thing he's ever seen because there's like no there. Like he's having a conversation with Adrius, and he's like, this guy is next level scary. Like he's wanted to, I think he even said like, I'd want to move seats, but like I can't or something like that. Like, so there is a layer there of like, don't trust this man. Like Darrow can feel it in his body, but in this moment, of course, like it seems like Adrius is like stepping up and caring for someone who everybody cares about. Like it's a really nice political move on his part.
And it's so well set up because the whole time through up until this point in Golden Sun, it's like, all right, is Adrius more than what we saw him in the first book? Is he more than the psychopath? But it's like, no, it's just showing exactly how he is that.
I think Adrius is living for more. No? Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving.
No, I do. I have one more
how?
question on this part. I have one more. You're just trying to rile people up there, Craig, aren't you?
Yeah, no, he's a villain. A villainous villain.
He's a good villain, I'll agree.
He's good. We get better villains. I think. That's my hot take.
That's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I
The
think we
first
get better.
page of the first chapter of this part, so we can't spend too much
we
time
got to
on
keep
it.
it
Well,
moving.
I have
We
one
gotta
more
keep it
question
moving.
before we move on here. So we obviously the Jackal's playing games here. Like on a reread, he's playing games here. He's setting things up. Does he know? Do you think at this point he is planning to try to turn rogue against Darrow, and that's why he kills Gwen? Or is that just a side?
That's a
effect?
side quest.
I think it's a side quest.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he knows that it will affect the crew, which
But-
like
yeah.
does.
So then why else let Quinn die? Or not even let Quinn die, kill her?
He kills her.
Why else would he do that?
He's just a psychopath, right?
Yeah. And I think
But
it's like
he's
less
a
He's an
funds
scheming-
for
opportunist.
Darrow. Yeah.
But what opportunity is there? What's the opportunity for him?
Like
to
he'll
kill
get
her?
away with it, right? Like that is
Chaos
Is it
is the
just to
ladder.
kill her, or is he
Psychopath.
scheming?
You know what? You know who he reminds me of in Ender's Game? Ender's older
Ooh.
brother who kills squirrels and like dissects them for fun in the beginning of the book. Very much like an evil genius psychopath character.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
I genuinely think.
Sorry,
Peter.
go ahead, Liz.
I was
Peter
just gonna-
Wiggum.
Yes. I was going to just say, I genuinely think the Jackal did it because he could do it. It was right there. Nobody really, he's again, smarter than everybody. So he's going to show it. And I think it was a good opportunity because, one less person for Darrow. He knows that Darrow cares about his friends and his people. So killing Quinn will affect Darrow and will affect the group. So that's why I think he did it. Yeah.
The impact that had on two of our very important characters and then everybody else. And I think he's just weighing the odds in the moment of okay, I can weaken this, this little
I mean, I
group in
think
this
he
way.
uses it to his advantage later with Rogue, but I don't think he pre-planned that.
See, but that's the thing. It is so convenient that he has this to use to his advantage later that I'm like, is he planning something more here? He is a genius, right? It's maybe he's putting things into motion. I think it's probably, like you guys are saying, it's just a nice little side effect for him, but I don't know if we can rule out that he wasn't planning to try to turn.
I think it's a key part of his plan. I don't think it's a side effect, but I think that he just catches things as they happen and then puts the dots together. I don't think he was premeditating how he's going to do it, but I also don't think it was insignificant that he brought it back later.
Yeah,
I think he
that's true.
collects these opportunities and then is so genius that he can connect the dots on how to make the best out of what he's collected.
Yeah, and also to all your point, I don't think at this point he knows that Darrow's a red yet. So there's no, that's a good point.
Right.
He can just use it later. Okay.
Yeah.
So
We
we
can move
leave
on.
his
All right.
forearms in the entryway to and we move on. I will say, so chapter 19 is my favorite quote. Just the entire
Ooh.
chapter. The whole
Oh.
chapter.
It is quite
Quote the
good.
whole series. This is peak series for me. Nothing will top this for me. This is where I
Telemanoscope.
peak.
Yeah.
We got
Telemanos.
we got every character, we got dynamics, we got interplay, we got action, and so dark yet. So this is where I end here. I will. This is it for me. This
It's
is the
a
end of the
great
road,
chapter.
guys.
So tell me
quite good.
more why. What's going on here that is, because this I feel like is a subtle chapter and it links a lot of other things together, but I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I think everyone in the ship together, talking together, is so fun.
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
You got Severo and Tactus fighting in the hallway, right? And then Nero appears and just looks
Victra.
down at these kids. Victor's like, "Who's that little person?" And and
Who's
Severo's
that
like,
little
"Slag
person?"
off,
Go fuck
Cal."
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, it's just so. And then you get the Telemanus stuff. I believe in this chapter, it might be the beginning of the next
It
one,
is.
where he's just so proud of Mustang.
He's so proud.
and their rapport is
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Oh, it's really
It's
yeah,
just
it's really good.
all kinds of good shit. It's so
Yeah.
good.
It was a good plan.
And then
Kevin
Tactus
says.
blows it all up.
Yeah, well, and so this is where we get back to, is Tactus a friend, right? He's flip-flopping.
Yeah.
I love it.
They should have known as soon as he volunteered, right? So we go with Darrow Darrow, of course, being the sexist that he is like, Victra, you take the prisoner down wherever. And
Can't think
Victra's
of a worse person to be around children. she's not a kid person. You just know it.
But then she goes on to have a million of them. But yeah,
Yeah.
still.
Oh, I can think of a worse.
But yeah, so then Tactus, on first read, you're just like, oh, he's like, you know what? I will diffuse the situation and I'll just take Lysander and put him away. And then 5 minutes later, we hear alarm go off. We hear the alarm bells go off, and they're all and it hits Victra. Actually, no, sorry, Mustang and Darrow at the same time, because they're like, he volunteered, and everybody's like, what the fuck? And then Darrow just starts sprinting down the ship, bulk or whatever it's called, and Tactus escapes with Lysander, so he takes their leverage from them. So now at this point, they can just get blown off. the surface of the earth.
Liz, I don't think I picked up on calling back to Nero asking Victra to go.
Uh-huh.
I didn't pick up that there's literally a quote that of course Augustus chooses the only woman but
Yeah.
Mustang.
Yeah.
I thought we were just assuming that he's a misogynist, but
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's literal.
yeah, it's
This is
literal.
another like thing for another time, but and I don't know where I'm falling necessarily on this yet, but it's kind of a bummer when you read like a sci-fi or a fantasy and there's like still misogyny in it because you're like, this is a fantasy, this doesn't have to be here. I
Right.
think it gets grandfathered into the series because their future is our past. Their
Yeah.
past is our present. You know what I mean? Like it's the same timeline, so it makes
Mhm.
sense maybe that misogyny would still exist, but that one
Yeah.
seems like low-hanging fruit. Like
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed to hear that particular issue hasn't found its way out of our culture yet.
Yeah.
At the highest realms of our culture.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
depressing,
think
honestly.
I think it's unique to Nero, maybe not unique to Nero, but like not unexpected of Nero, right? And so we have this incredible dichotomy between like the Telemanus family, who's so incredible, and like you're right, Sam. Like the interaction between Mustang and Kavix is beautiful, and she puts her hand on Kavix's arm and he preens like a hound, it's just so cute.
Every interaction between Kavix and everyone is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But back to your point, Sam, I agree with you, but I'll also still mention this is dystopian. We do still have a caste system too. So if there is one, I guess it makes sense that misogyny is still around in this one. But I agree with you. I feel like there aren't enough
Well,
representations of future sci-fi without the misogyny aspect
there
of
is
it.
not, and we can talk about that. But the interesting thing about this one is if you're going with like there's a caste system and hierarchy, and we even explore in this chapter because we talk a little bit about obsidians, how
Mhm.
deliberate each culture was created by
Yes.
golds.
Mm-hmm.
If you think the golds didn't create their own culture as deliberately, you're crazy. So they would have had to deliberately put in women are like a little less important than men. Like if Nero's gonna have that attitude, it has to be deliberate. So anyway, we have so much to cover, you guys.
We have
Oh,
so much
yeah.
to cover. Let's get
So much
into
to
it,
cover.
yeah. So Tactus takes Lysander, and we're like, that's fine. We're figuring out how this little ship can get to Augustus's fleet in time.
Right. Darrow's like, can't happen. Ain't
stork.
gonna happen. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We have
because they
this.
know that like when Tactus left, pinged, you know what I mean? So they're
Right.
the moment when they're like, we have 6 minutes, like they're
Yeah.
scrambling. Interestingly, Nero's just like prepared to die.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're going
Yeah.
down like gold, everybody.
And of course, Darrow comes up with a plan, and he's like, I feel like everyone is kind of waiting for that.
Which he
Which
says
makes-
Shout out,
too.
Yeah.
callback, absolutely set up from his time in the academy. Like
Yeah.
we talked about that in like our very first episode this season about how that was a foreshadowing.
Mhm.
This is not the first time Darrow has thought of this plan, so I love that. I love that it's
Me
not
too. You're
like,
right.
Like I love that it's not just Deus Ex Machina plan. I'm coming up with this for the first time now. Let's do it. Even though that does happen with Darrow sometimes, but this one it is clearly, hey, I wanted to do this before. Now I'm doing it, and I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And then we
But
get a quote
that-
from his dad, right? He's
Wait,
in
whose
the
dad?
spit tube in his star
Ooh,
shell.
we got to move
And
back because we have a good quote right before then.
Is it
Oh,
the
go ahead.
Star Wars reference?
It is the Star Wars reference.
What is it?
Go
Never
ahead,
tell
Sam.
me the odds.
This is the first Star Wars reference I've noticed, so I just wanted to make sure we made room for it in this
Yeah.
very Star Wars
Okay,
heavy
yeah.
episode. As Liz knows, this is a reference to Han Solo when he's saying, take us near the Vanguard, and the Blue says, that would cause our chances of survival to decrease by, and Darrow says, never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
As
Just
Liz
do it.
knows, I did not know.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I remember the first time I ever read this, Sam, and you and I were sending voice memos back and forth, and I didn't remember this happening. And you were like, did you pick up on the Star Wars quote? And I was like, no. So, yeah, it's so funny.
I read at that time, that they become very deliberate in Morning Star, not just Star Wars, but like pop culture references in general. So I think we're going to have a lot of these little pop-ups. I seem to remember, and I'm waiting till we get to maybe Phobos, but I seem to remember the quote, that's no moon. So I'm looking out for that one.
They also reference, and I'm forgetting it, not nerdy enough. What is the cell where Leia is kept?
Yeah, that
Come up
comes up
to cell block
next book.
88427 or whatever the quote is from the movie. That number is used to describe someone's, I think it's Darrow's.
Yeah, in the next book when they break him out. Yeah.
Oh, was that Victor's cell number? And yeah. Okay.
Oh, nice, dude. Really
I
good.
mean, there are also references to like Hyperion Cantos in some of the city. Like, there's so many good references, really, and there are a lot of deep cuts, and it's just it's great.
Oh, I will also just sorry, not for to pivot from the quotes, but I did find it interesting that before Lysander was stolen or kidnapped again, that he
Reverse
knows
kidnapped.
about, right? Like he knows about Augustus's history, but not about how his son died. Like they talk about, like he was growing up, they told him stories about, yes, this is kind of the history between the Bolognas and the Augustus, but they don't go into detail of how like his oldest son dies, because that's like Nero's like, oh, you remind me of him. And it's like interesting that they would keep that tidbit out from the history.
That is such a great moment. Augustus being totally normal talking to a child who's also a totally normal child.
I love that. Yeah.
He holds Lysander's head in both of his hands. Like it's like, ooh, brother.
Yeah.
Don't let him near kids.
Yeah. It is odd.
Yeah.
And please go into the memory about his dad. That's so important.
He's just remembering his father saying, "Watch how a pit viper strikes my son. Watch it coil upward and upward till it reaches its crest. Don't move before then. Don't strike out with your sling blade. If you do, then it'll get you. It'll kill you. Move just when it's coming." Anyway, he has this great quote, and we have so few dad quotes.
Yeah.
Feels important.
Again, for something that is like, the first thing you need to know about me is my father. It's like we're now getting dad quotes that I'm happy about, but like where have these been?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, they shoot across space. No one is expecting this. This is another paradigm shift, right?
Fantastic gambit.
Incredible. And so he's firing his pulse fist at the bridge, the glass, like the Darrow glass of the bridge, and it shatters and he like smacks through it. Nobody is prepared. Of course, if you do that, there's going to be a vacuum that sucks everybody out of the ship. And he's going so fast, he goes through like 5 different steel barriers inside of the ship. Love to see it.
Because it's basically like, this is the mechanism they use for the Iron Rain. He basically just did an Iron Rain on a ship. In
space. Yeah.
And like you said, it builds. That's kind of nice to know that, it's not like he just thinks about that later out of nowhere. You get to see the
and it keeps building. So yeah, they take the bridge. I think we can skip ahead to Ragnar.
We cannot skip ahead.
We can't skip over.
We have the moment where Darrow effectively shows his cards, and he's like, "I could vent the ship, but I choose not to. Revolt against your gold masters.
He gives this
opening
great
all
speech.
the armories." Yeah, and it is a great speech, and it is this is, I think, the turning point in the first trilogy.
Yeah, I think so too. This speech is so good. And it works, which there's a moment where you're like, is it going to work?
Is it going to work?
And then all of a sudden, it starts working.
I will agree that the turning point is this part. I do think this is a part of it. I think it's an extended turning point. 2, I also love that this comes back up later. He gives this speech that sounds very democratic, and it very much comes back to play later.
Why is democratic in the book spelled with a K? I didn't know that until just now.
No, they always do that.
Is there a lore reason? Time to find out lore reason.
I only ever listened to it.
Let us know in the comments.
I never questioned it. Pierce, let us know in the comments, though. We don't really want you to come on. If you could just do it in the comments, that would be great for us.
Yeah. He's busy.
Yeah.
He's busy.
But there's a scene too that's fun where he's like, all right, I need someone to pilot this ship. And all the blues start like tripping over themselves. And Orion
is like, I will not.
Well, wait, before that, though, we do have the voice that comes in through the intercom.
Are you
Where
God?
Yeah, can you hear me? It asks, are you a god?
This is one of my favorite quotes in the entire series. And also shout out to Tim Gerard
Oh
Reynolds.
my god.
When we first hear Ragnar's voice, it is perfect because
It's
you
perfect.
have the syntax in the book, and it's like, how do you
Right.
capture that in an audiobook? And he
And
does
Tim
such a good
does it.
job.
Tim does it. I will come meet you in your companion, godchild. It's so good.
Godchild, I love it.
It's so
Are
good.
you a god?
Stained, right? And then there's also like this mythology around Stained that we saw. I think the first time they're mentioned is with Adrius down in the cut under Luna.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe how expensive they are, but we don't really get a sense of how dangerous they are.
Now we do.
And this moment,
Yeah.
oh my
god! It's just, I offer you these stains.
And his quote, I make you an offering of stains. Godchild Andromedus, I am Ragnar Volaris, the stained firstborn of my. Anyway, this incredible. It's very Viking-esque, right?
That's the point.
I mean, it's supposed to be, right?
Because the gold seeded their religion with Norse mythology. That was intentional. Also, shout out to the misogyny here. They intentionally made them matriarchal society because they thought it would be weaker. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that chapter, Darrow asks himself, what did I just gain? Which is awesome.
It is. It is so awesome. Ragnar is a peak character. You want to talk about peak characters. I agree about another peak character we're about to meet, but we meet
let's get into some blue action.
We meet two
and
peak
Liz, is
characters
Orion
right
your
here.
favorite character?
Orion is, yes. She is my favorite character. She is just such a badass. I'm like, how can you not?
She's so cool. Her voice is also, shout out Tim, like the monotone, and what are you but a pedantic little gasp of a fart, Pellus. Right? So good.
Yeah, she really cuts all those other blues. She's like, what the fuck? No.
God.
And the golds. She says, like, half my age. Should I call you Lord Boy?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Darrow, to the guy who just blew up the ship.
Yeah.
But also, like, talk about how they're so calculated. They're blues, right? And to make that calculated insult, to know that it would actually hit with Darrow and he'd like it, you know? I'm not sure if she knew that, but I think you could argue she did.
I think she's
trying to gain his
also
favor.
less like, right. Like, she's not as a new model as the other one, so she's less like has a less
she's a
muddy
docker,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Which we sort of learn more and more about. I also don't understand, and this gets into some deep cut blue knowledge. There are different schools that blues can go to get their doctorate in whatever. Forget which one she's from. Does anybody remember?
Because they mentioned that she didn't go to. I didn't like hold it in my head.
I'll do some digging. But on this note, I also want to shout out how much I love, like, as a math nerd, as a math major, I loved all of these equations on their skin. Like, it's so cool.
You
gotta
the
call out when
tattoos.
they're real ones because we're not gonna get it.
I mean,
so you gotta call it out.
he doesn't give the actual equation, but he does mention Maxwell's and Einstein's equation. So, like,
all right.
She has no sect. She was appropriated by the Copernican
Copernican
sect, but dismissed because she's a docker. But yeah, I don't know. I really like Orion, and she just does really cool stuff for Darrow. She really does save him a lot too. And yeah, so I just like her character.
She's very cool. I love the very small reference to the Rubicon beacons. I don't know if anybody remembers there are beacons around Luna, and if you pass the Rubicon beacons, then they go off, right? To alert Luna that an armada is coming or leaving, I guess. Just a cool World War II reference.
Quick shout back to Orion. Right, she has no sect. Apparently, she has no formal education, something like that. I also, without getting into the spoiler, apparently one of the schools is called the Midnight School, and I think that's really cool.
Really cool.
I mean,
really cool. But I don't remember the hierarchy of which school is the quote-unquote best.
The best.
Right.
And there is a best.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, anyway. And then the jackal appears and is like, Quinn died. Couldn't save her. I did my best. I won't apologize. I did my best, is what he says.
Yeah. And Mustang tells Darrow to go comfort Severo instead of Roke.
Yeah, and then the most beautiful scene commences. I just freaking adore the Severo telling him about, the Ares, and he's like a hard
Mhm.
guy, but then they hug and Darrow cries about like now he finally has someone he can like share this with, and it's such a heavy burden and he like unloads it.
That's a
I'm
really cool moment.
tears,
Yeah.
tears.
I want to
So beautiful.
take a quick second and Mustang tactical genius watch for Craig specifically. Sending him to talk to Severo instead of Roke has
I was gonna
so
bring this up
many.
too.
Okay, cool. It has so many implications, right? Like, what
I agree.
if? What
I
if
agree.
he, and I. I don't think it would have changed anything between Darrow and Roke if he had gone to Roke, but it would have changed things between Darrow and Severo.
I don't know. That's so interesting. This
Because
is
of how important this scene is. If this
Right.
scene doesn't happen,
Then
it's
what?
the foundation for Darrow and Severo's friendship, really. I mean, there's so much more, but
Or
this
it
is...
could have been the foundation for Roke taking a turn towards betterness.
And
No,
this
it
is where
couldn't
I get back
have.
to
Maybe it
Roke was
could
never...
have.
No, he's
I don't
gold
think so. I
through
think
and
Roke
at
is
through.
this
always
point-
upset. Go ahead, Liz.
No, I was just gonna say, I think at this point, Roke, I would be shocked if Roke like backs down from Darrow. I think like Roke is very much just like over it. Like he is emotional, he is sad and he doesn't understand the whole like, why did you, basically drug me before this gala? There's just too many questions that would not have been resolved in this scenario.
Even without the questions, I think he even tells us flat out he will never be friends with the Red. Like he is gold through and through.
I don't know if that's
Severo
true.
is friend through and through.
But Roke has all these little moments. We see them start in book 1 of Red Rising, where Darrow does and Tactus, Darrow does not tell them the whole truth. And I don't mean that he's a Red. He just doesn't bring them into his plan. And that builds up over time. And this is the turning point, I think, where he can go to Roke and be like, I'm so sorry about Quinn. And he instead goes with Severo. And I think I agree with you, Nick. I think it's a turning point.
And I still don't think if he goes to Roke, it doesn't change anything. Like, sure, he'll comfort him about this, but Roke is still just mad it happened and just has can't see past it. Whereas Severo is, I mean, if there's, we see it, that it's the scene. We find out Severo is loyal, no matter what Darrow is. And
it's not even about Severo or Roke getting something out of it. It's about what Darrow gets out of it in this moment, which leads us to wonder always, ever, how much Mustang knows.
Right.
And she, of course, she knows something. You know what I mean? Like she's a part of this.
I think we need to I think we need to dissect the Severo scene a little bit more, but I want to shout out how we go straight from this to what I think is one of the most crucial parts in the book, and it's the scene with Mustang. Like to go straight from Severo to the breakfast with Mustang. I love that
so sweet.
One into the other. And I love how this breaks up some intense action scenes, and it's stuck in here and it feels right. It's not like here's an intermission. It's like no, we need to resolve some of this stuff.
Well, I think before we get to the Severo moment, just from a literary perspective, we know in book 1 didn't have an editor, and book 2 through 6, the pacing, everything is better from a writing perspective. Everything feels so natural. There is not one moment that I can think of that is like dragging or useless or pointless. So I agree with you, Nick, on that. All right, Severo. Guess wrong again, and I leave you like this, he says, snapping his fingers.
And he means it.
And he means it.
And I love that he gives him, it's not an ultimatum, but it is an ultimatum. And it's just like, basically, let me in, right? Let me in. How much more can I slap you in the face and tell you you can trust me? If you can't trust me now, you're never going to trust me, and this isn't going to happen. And I love that.
So I look him in his dull gold eyes. Ares sent you. And then finally he has a friend.
Chills.
It's so good. And then we have this really cool, how is it that we don't know? Well, that's a big spoiler. Maybe it's not. How do we know that he gets this recording of Fitchner, right?
The whisper sync or something
the
like
whisper
that.
sync.
Yeah.
How do we...
Of
Fitchner,
Ares.
sorry.
Yeah.
recording of Ares. It's an okay to spoil, but I'm just saying at this time they don't know it's Fitchner.
They
It's not like it's
don't
masked
know. But
off.
I'm saying, how could
Yeah.
they not know? Fitchner has such a cadence to his speaking. How could they not know?
I think honestly, the dancer reveal at the end probably just kind of took their brains away, right? Because they're so distracted by, like, at least Darrow, because at that up until that point, he thought Dancer was dead.
Mhm.
So I wonder if it's just like one of those things where, right, like it's just, oh shit. First, Severo knows about me and the and Ares, and then Dancer's alive. There's just too many things to try to focus on, like the speech pattern, I think. I would get distracted by all the other things.
So Severo, he's lying on Severo's shoulder, right? Bloody Dam is mentioned. And it doesn't bother you? He said to Severo, what I am? Bother? That's a tiny ass word for a gory big thing. So anyway, we have this beautiful moment where the two of them sort of discuss and understand that he's a red, and it's the first time in forever that literally years, that Darrow has been able to talk to somebody about it.
I also love Severo in this scene. I mean, I love Severo many times, but in this scene especially because he really does hold Darrow's hand through all of it, right?
Yeah.
Like he makes it like basically completely clear to Darrow that he knows what he is, and Darrow is like, if you don't tell him now, you're never going to tell him. But also, he knows, so he's giving you the option to tell him because if he still knows, right? He's kind of taking that fear a little bit away from Darrow, in that it's not like you're revealing something that Severo doesn't. I mean, he doesn't make it clear he knows, but he definitely implies, and it's that implication that makes it easier, I think, for Darrow. And I just love that about Severo, that he does him that kindness too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if we jump forward slightly, we get a Victra moment.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fun,
Right?
how many like ships passing in the night moments we get between Victra and Severo.
Yes,
early
I
on,
thought
right?
so
It
It
is.
is.
It's like, if only you guys know what's to come.
Yeah.
If only.
And Victra, again, for quote watch, Victra has this moment where she says to Darrow, remember when Tactus discarded your violin because he was suspicious that you wanted something? Now you treat me that same way.
Oh,
Same as when I
yeah.
came to you in the gardens. Is it too much to believe I'm your friend and care about you? And then, like, she's being super sensual, Sam, and her sensual
LOL.
lips. And he like kills the tension by saying, good night, sister.
Oh gosh. Which I think that's a little bit of a funny, harsh. I think that's also a little bit of a funny bit, because we hear all of this, like, or we've talked so much about him shutting Roke out, him trying to shut Severo out, all these people. And it's like, oh, he hears Victor bringing that up too. But it's also like, well, there's this romantic aspect. Is she just talking about that? And I think that's a funny little, like, pivot, and like you said, shutting it down.
And then we have this really cute moment, which is just foreshadowing for later in this book, where Victra is saying, it's kind of offhanded, but she's like, I'm Victra, right? They're reintroducing themselves to each other. I like the way the stone smells before rain falls, which is then a callback later on in the book. It's just really cute that like Darrow remembers that detail.
I love that this scene is it shows Victor's vulnerability. You get full round character from Victor after this, which allows her to be like a main character, and allows you to buy into her being in a relationship that is so loving and so family oriented. Because all we've seen so far is how hard shelled she can be, and we'll continue to see that primarily. But now you know that this inner gushiness exists,
Right.
Which is
That's true.
so important and so just wonderful, because when you look at her family too, when you look at Antonia and her mother and all this other stuff, and you know that that's not what she grew up with, really. Just to see that she is capable of it, and see that honestly she wants it too. And I also have to shout out that I feel like Darrow's interaction with Severo, being right before this, makes Darrow a much better participant in this conversation. But then sister and Darrow goes and finds Virginia instead.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's
which is
restless.
so cute.
This is such a good scene.
It's just like, it's a moment of, talk about quiet moments where we get so much depth. They're literally having breakfast, right? And then there's this cute, is it a brown who keeps making them too much food?
Yes.
And they're
Keeps bringing all the food.
They're bantering in a way that I don't think we've ever really seen, even in the cave moment in book 1.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like talking.
Exactly. And it's so real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cute.
She does tell him about her.
Go ahead. No, go, Liz.
I was going to say she does tell him about, like, you know, she did have a plan. She just wasn't sleeping with Cassius just to, like, it was for, political protection for her family. And that she's just very scared for Darrow. So that was really cute and touching.
I just love this scene so much because I feel like Pierce does a great job of capturing a quiet moment between two people who are in love. Like, really, they are. Even if we don't, I think even Darrow says it at some point here, and it's just the way they interact, the way they're a team, the way they are. Spoiler: the scepter and the sword together, and not Adrius. It just, I feel like this captures it so well. It's not those big moments where like you have them making giant tactical decisions. It's the quiet trust that they build in a moment like this, and this is where I feel like the series really turns. And I think it's fitting that this is the end of this part of the book as well too. It's I think it's great.
There's also some heavy talk.
It's really cute. What heavy talk?
Top of 217, Mustang talks about how her freaking thesis or whatever was about different levels within the cast getting together and like fucking with the board of quality control to the extent that they could, carvers, etc. And what she says it's a beautiful thing. And she says, I think this is a direct quote, but sometimes my notes app fucks it up. Each is willing to take the leap, thinking they're the first period.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking it's their first period. Sorry, that's voice to text. Each is willing to take the leap, thinking that they're the first. That's bravery. And that means it's part of who we are as people. And after that, he wonders what she would say if he knew, like, he was, quote, one of them. And I think this is another spot where he's so immensely underestimating her. Like, what is he telling you right now, Darrow? Like, he's telling you that this was her thesis. She knows something's up. She knows what's going on. Why would she be studying that in the first place? You know?
Yeah. I think it's also really, again, just a shout out to the editing, to the pacing, that this comes right after the scene with Severo, who is exactly a product of one of those relationships.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And what she told him to go pursue. She, like, come on, Darrow, get with the freaking program.
But also credit to Darrow too. Like, yeah, we want him to be able to get with the program, but also the leap we're asking him to take here to trust her is that leap, right? It's you don't make that leap with many people in your life. And I think that's the point. It's not easy to do it either.
Yeah, I feel like this is it's similar to me as like Buffy, where it's kind of a bit of an allegory maybe for like queerness and like coming out to your family. And Mustang is the like the mom who's, well, this isn't in Buffy, but in general, the mom who's like, so you've been hanging out with, you know, so and so a lot lately. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell me anything, you know, what do you guys do? Okay, yeah, just know I'm always here to talk.
Sam, you made this a bit you made this a bit Oedipus-y.
Sorry?
You made this a bit Oedipus-y, though.
What? Oh, I just meant
calling Mustang the mom.
Okay, you're right. Sorry. I just meant someone who like loves you very much. So like, but it can't be.
No, yeah.
You're right. They already know you're gay. So like, whoever it might be, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, got you. Sorry, I didn't mean to detract from that.
That was not an intentional Oedipus draw.
And then after this beautiful Mustang moment, not to move on too quickly from that boring part, then we end the entire part with this odd one-on-one with the jackal in his room.
Go on, Craig. Tell us more about
It's just so odd. Adrius is wearing a bathrobe, and they're just like talking in Darrow's stateroom about, you know, how they fan the flames and how the Telemonises hate Adrius, and
but how great is Ragnar in this scene?
Oh, he's great.
Oh, yes.
Fabulous Ragnar moment. He just shows up out of nowhere like, there's someone in there. I'm going to protect you.
Someone breathes inside. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Tim Gerard Reynolds. Every time Tim Gerard Reynolds does Ragnar, I just am so happy. But on that note, Craig, first read, this isn't as much of a deal as like when you know what happens on a reread. You have 3 incredible, authentic one-on-one moments followed by this one-on-one. And I just think it's so well set up. So on your first read, it's like, wow, you're just getting back-to-back authentic moments. And then it's like, well, like you said, this one's weird. Why is it weird? It's like it's priming us. It is priming us to see, hey, this is different from the other authentic interactions Darrow has had very quickly before this.
Great
In
point.
the end, Mustang does tell him right before he leaves he can't trust him.
Yep.
So
This is not where she gives him the whole puzzle talk, right?
No.
no,
Okay.
no. But she just ends it with like, just because it does seem like Darrow is right. And I think we talked about this. Like he's very forgiven or like, he wants that community. So I think as much as he knows to not trust the jackal just because they work together and he relies on him, I think he kind of does. And I think Mustang sees that and is like, just a reminder, don't trust him.
But I think we also see that Darrow is afraid of Adrius, right? Because he has, I want to ask him about Leto, why he killed him. But why show a devil you know his strength, right? So
That's true.
And this is a good
don't
callback
know.
to something you mentioned, Craig, about how I think it was you, Craig, that said he doesn't want to sit next to him on the shuttle.
Oh,
right?
somebody else said that, but yeah.
What was it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to who.
No, I
Yeah.
think Craig, you did say that
I think Sam said
earlier.
it.
Well, either way, whoever said that, this is a great shout out back to the not wanting to sit next to him on the shuttle. Like he's
creepy.
always been afraid of the jackal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's such a fun also parallel between Adrius and Virginia too. To see he's always afraid of Adrius, but not Virginia, and because Virginia's not scary or a psychopath either.
Right.
But also, if I can go back real quick for a second, we've talked about this I think before, but now is a good time to bring it up. So clearly in this part, Severo finds out he's a red. Severo knows what he is. Is there any time before he tells Virginia later in this book that he could have told Virginia?
Except for this time right here.
And could he have told it to her at this time or not?
Probably.
Yeah,
You
on
think so?
second reads especially. So,
Mhm.
Hindsight's 2020. This is the perfect time. This is the
Yeah.
perfect time. And what would that have changed to now have 2 people like colluding and on your side? But I understand his hesitation, like you said, Nick. I mean, it's a big thing to say.
Right. And because we'll come back to this later because I think just put a pin in this scene for when we come back to this question later in the book. Because I think I'm not remembering everything entirely, but I think I don't think anyone really truly blames him for not telling her here, but it might have been a good move to tell her here. And
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
yeah.
Since we rewound to this scene, there was a
Yeah.
spot that I just feel like we need to voice given our conversation about Mustang and about women over the past few. Bottom of 219. This is the part where, like, categorically, she's like saying, "You must have understand, like, I felt lost and I was getting with Cassius because I was lonely and sad and I missed you so much." And he's like, "Yeah, I do believe that." And she's like, "Good, shove that idea up your ass."
Right.
Yes.
Like, I love this quote here because it's so strong. She just says, like, "I'm not some frill-wearing tramp." Okay, that's not so great. But she says, "I'm a genius. I say this because it's a fact. I'm smarter than any person you've ever met, except my twin. My heart does not make my brain a fool. I sought out a relationship with Cassius for the same reasons I love, blah, 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 to protect my family." But I think it's just so great to be like, I'm so much smarter than you, you dumb idiot. And I'm glad that it's like, this is sort of the culmination of that moment, all those moments.
That we had discussed. Yeah.
Yeah, that we have discussed previously and heard categorically saying, like, no, this is not correct. So there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Expanding on one little bit there that I don't think was the point. Family. We talk about family in many of our episodes, but Virginia says she wants to protect her family. And as we've seen, her Augustus family is kind of shit, right? And it's like, okay, why do you want to protect them? I just love the development with Virginia and the story and family of who she ends up protecting. I mean, obviously it's Darrow, the Telemanuses, like that is, and me being someone who is a huge proponent of found family and seeing how her family sucks and she actually has family that doesn't suck and how it evolves from protecting Augustus to, was she ever really even talking about protecting Augustus? I guess for a while, yes, because it's all she knew. But then as she knew real family, she like evolved to protect that.
Love that. Love it.
Love it.
Just beautiful.
All right, well,
Do we rate it?
let's rate it.
Let's read it.
I mean,
Sam?
This section is a 6 out of 5 for me.
Whoa.
Oh.
This is the most I'm ever going to rate any section, I believe. I'm a 6 out of 5. This is my favorite stretch. I would just read this over and over again if we didn't have to podcast because I don't want to go on to the darkness that befalls us. But I love this one so much.
Yeah, it's really good.
yeah,
Nick.
this whole part is I can't rate it higher than While You Slept I Trained. I can't rate it higher than that. I will rate it absolutely equal to that. It's right on the same page. But this is peak first trilogy. I don't think we get another section of these books that is as good as this is. At least not in the first trilogy.
Yeah.
So 5 out of 5 here. Same as last.
Yeah, I would rate this a 5 as well. I think this whole section was just a great section of the book. And I think in my summary earlier, I had said, like, we will dive into this, not because it's our favorite, but I want to say because it's my favorite. But yeah, I rate it 5.
I also think it's a 5.
Yeah, Sam, you kind of threw us for a curveball. I didn't realize we could rate higher than a
Y'all
5.
cowards. Y'all
Yeah, what the heck?
I've been very semantic about our rating system this whole time, and now you go and throw me for a loop and rate something 6.
I actually truly did enjoy this better than the first half of this part. I think part 2, Golden Sun, is just my favorite out of everything, and this half I actually enjoy better than the first half. So
I won't argue with that at all. 100%. It's so good, and I think the only reason that I put it on the same level. I think the only reason people might not put it on the same level as the first half of this part is just because it is those quieter moments at times, which are excellent.
Wow.
All
So
right.
should we keep on reading, or do you think we should just stop here because we've reached our
Yeah, just stop.
End the podcast.
Series ends.
Yeah. Should we just end the podcast?
This is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
This is as good as it gets. That's not true, though. I think it continues to be incredible. So
good.
everybody's going to have to hold on. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
See you later, alligator.
All right. See ya after
Bye.
a while, crocodile. Bye.
Bye.
What a story. We hope you enjoyed these chapters as much as we did. Join us next week as the crew keeps coming together, the dynamics shifting, and Golden Sun continues its favorite hobby of giving us hope and then almost immediately dashing it. If you're Pierce Brown or anyone else with thoughts, feelings, or objections to our opinions, you can email us at thehowlerbookclub@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Red Rising Book Club.